then, you know, me and him will be fine. He's happy, and, you know, it'll be all right.
So you still see your other kids? You don't?
I haven't been able to see him until October.
They won't allow you? Was it a conditional surrender?
I wouldn't sign a conditional surrender.
Oh.
They did a suspended judgment.
Suspended.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a really crazy case where we basically kind of didn't really do anything wrong, and it just made up a lot of.
Oh,
we got
you're an attorney. No.
I do, but
for him.
Yeah.
But what about for the other kids?
It's a problem. I mean, I don't know.
Will the attorney who helped you during that process help you now with the appeal?
They're all. They're all. No, he's not helping with the appeal. They're all in on it. I mean, he's the attorney. It's a lot to explain. I learned a lot. I didn't know that what was happening until it was too late, basically. And my attorney kind of made sure that nothing really became a problem for what was happening. It is what it is.
It feels that way. I've heard a lot of parents say that.
Yeah,
they feel like they're in the pocket of the county. So
it is. The attorneys just kind of feed you to the wolves. You know, they don't. You know,
they tell you to lay down and roll over and give in.
Not just that, but whenever somebody comes in and brings an accusation against you in family court, it's clear and convincing evidence if you don't have anything to say back, if you don't have anything to prove back. So when somebody comes and says he did this, this, and that, and I'm telling my lawyer, that's not true. I didn't do none of that, and he just says, you know, we'll wait till another time.
But then he never brings it up.
But he never brings it up. All of that stuff that goes on record is basically against me. It's not true. I told the judge, I finally got to a point where I told the judge, hey, you know, these people aren't really being honest in your court. You committed perjury. The judge said to me, well, I understand that. So I'm just like,
whoa. So that's why the suspended judgment.
Well, this is what I think.
Was it Judge Claire?
Yes. I kind of looked.
She's retired.
I think she retired yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, this is what kind of happened with this suspended judgment.
Yeah.
Basically, they wanted the kids. They wanted to adopt the kids to the Kaisers, but they couldn't because we had done everything we had asked, and it didn't really look good on them that they, you know. And the judge looked at it too and said, well, we know how this would look in an appeals court. So they said, well, they were ordered to do attachment therapy. They never did it. I'm going to give them a suspended judgment so that they can complete their attachment therapy.
Okay. Has that been done?
Find them a therapist. Well, this is what happened.
But how can you do attachment survey when you don't see the kids anymore?
It was while we were still seeing the kids.
Oh, like a bonding assessment?
This is what. No, it was somebody else. It was a guy named Wiseman. All of that was. Yeah. All of that was. He never gave us any therapy. He never helped us with anything.
Yeah.
All it was just him to gather evidence against us to seal the deal. Now they have a licensed professional saying you don't need to be parents to these kids.
Oh.
And then that's it.
But yet you're doing everything for him and you have unsupervised with him.
Exactly.
That's good to show for that case too.
That's what I'm saying is I have to get him home. If I don't get him home, I don't get any of the kids home. So if I get him home, then I have a really, really good case to say, hey, listen, they didn't do this.
Yeah.
What they're doing with him is like the complete opposite, night and day. They're trying to help me get him home. They're meeting with me every week.
Because they feel guilty because they see what's happened and they know what's wrong.
It's what they're supposed to do the entire time.
With the others, too.
Yes.
Right.
But we never did none of that. I never met with Lori Winkler.
Lori Winkler?
Yes, I never met with her. None. I never.
She's your caseworker?
She was. They switched after this.
She's supposed to meet with you once a week.
Yes, she never did.
That's a violation right there.
She never did. We met like maybe every 6 months. In a hearing kind of thing.
She's a senior caseworker.
I know. Well, they got everything that happened. You know, that woman Heather that took care of the other kids knew a lot of people too. So they were back there talking and you know, and they made things happen. So, but I don't think it's going to stand. I just feel bad, you know, for my children that I mean, I don't know what's going on in that home. I don't.
Do they love them?
I don't know. I don't know if it's.
Do you see any evidence? Are the kids afraid of them? Do they like them? They call them mom and dad?
I see a lot of bad things. I see things that make me I'm on a border of almost like reporting it to like well, I don't want them to be taken out of another home, and I don't want them to go through that again.
Yeah.
So I'm like on the border of it, like, you know, when we have a visit at the Boys and Girls Club, and my son, Michael, when Heather comes to pick him up, because normally a caseworker comes to pick him up, but when Heather came to pick him up, he grabbed my leg and said, "Daddy, don't go." He screamed. You know, and
Heather, what's their last name?
Kaiser? Yeah, they live out in Bemis Point. You know, they ended.
I don't know.
My son ended up with a broken arm, and she didn't know until the next day that his arm was broken. My daughter got her arm pulled out of her socket. I mean,
and that's documented by a doctor, all that stuff.
They didn't.
Was that after the case was taken, or suspended judgment?
It was
done after.
It was, well, one was before and one was after.
I would get that documentation in front of the judge too, especially the one after. Well, I don't want to hold you up from having fun at the playground and get you all upset and everything.
Down to the reason to why they were taken in the first place is kind of, it really wasn't, I mean, they could really have a reason, I mean, I guess, but them not giving him back was really what we got through.
And how old were they when they were taken?
Michael was almost 1. Michael was almost 2. Gabriel was almost 1.
All of them little, and then a baby.
This is horrible. What happened? A nightmare for my kids and for us. They cried so bad in that first home that they couldn't stay there. They had to switch. They had to find a new home, and they used us without telling us. Helped them adjust in the home, and then they just found a reason not to. It's just really bad people. I mean, some of you guys are good people that try to help, and some people like doing some underground crap. You know,
well, I've been working there for 15 years, and before that I was at the Resource Center preschool, and I worked with CPS there, and it wasn't until I worked for them that I started seeing things that I felt were wrong. And I even stepped down from being a case. I was CPS when I started, and then I stepped down to being a prosecutor because I didn't like the way they were telling me, like they wanted me to write a court report, but only the bad things the parents did. And I had written already the report that said the good and bad, both things. They did this, and then they didn't do that. And my supervisor told me, you can't write like that. She says, you've got to support our stance, which is that they're not going to get shit back, or, and I thought, oh my goodness, let the judge read it and decide. Don't. And they said, well, she says, well, that's what their lawyer does, is show the good things they do, and we show the bad things. And I just didn't like that.
So the supervisor edits the report?
She told me to change it, and I changed jobs. I couldn't take it anymore. I thought that was wrong. I thought it was unethical. But she said that's what we do. She says that's how we have to support our stand. If we take a stand that the parent's wrong, then we have to support that stand. And I was like, she made herself, that supervisor, walk on people's heads and neck and shoulders, and made herself all the way up to deputy commissioner. And then that's all on her.
Who is that?
She was let go. And she was told to leave, resign, or you'll be fired.
Why?
Well, things like this, I'm thinking, unethical, immoral stuff, things she said, things she's done, because and she's gone now. But, all the damage she did, and others like her.
The kids are really
I know. They think they're helping them, but, and a lot of those people never even had kids of their own. How can they tell us, as trainers of parents, or parents who are now training other parents who are parents ourselves, how can they tell us what to do with kids and stuff like that? They've never had children of their own. They don't know how hard it is and things that can happen, and and then you keep working, you improve, and you keep doing better. There were times when somebody could have called CPS on me. My little guy took off. He ran underneath some low branches on a big fir tree, and I had to go around and he crossed the street before I could get to him. He was just 2 or 3. And I didn't know he could run fast.
Things happen.
I know, and nobody saw, nothing happened. Like, we didn't get run over by a car. But somebody could have seen it. Somebody could have called. He could have done it. And I got him by the time he crossed that road. I was just praying and running as fast as I could. And there's been other times in everyone's life where something happens with the kids, or and they just barely by the skin of their teeth, you know, they're not found out, or they're not trying to hurt them, but they're, you know, kids are quick and fast and smart, and
yeah,
you know,
like when I was 4, I had while my parents were sleeping, because I was so savage,
unlocked the door.
Unlocked the door from McKinley Street, went all the way down to tried to cross Foot Avenue.
Oh.
They couldn't find me. They found me at 9 o'clock in the morning, just trying to cross the street. Went back.
On Foot Avenue.
Yeah, I was 4. And
it's a miracle nothing happened to you, because that's a busy road.
I was so like when I was this is my child.
And were child protection called on them? You didn't go into foster care?
No, I never. I went to Bosie's because my mom is from Turkey.
Oh.
She doesn't really. She didn't know how to speak English very well.
Wow.
But after.
Sorry, buddy.
I grew up in Virginia Beach. CPS isn't as proactive as they are here.
Yeah. I've heard that about Chautauqua County.
Either it's social service.
He wants to let it go.
Hey, I appreciate the conversation, though.
Well,
it
I'll
was
be
great.
praying for you, because, you know, prayer changes things, and you never know, you know, and you seem like such a good man. And
I try.
Yeah. So, and you're close to getting him back, so maybe, you know, the Lord's on your side. Just keep praying yourself. And
hopefully, Mom can see his mom.
Yeah. Well, more power to you, and God bless you, and be with you, and keep working hard.
Hey, thank you.
Okay, you take care.
You
all
too.
right?
I'll see you another time. Let's get these swings.